coaching this generation's real estate superstars. Harris Real Estate University.
And it took more time for some of us than it did for others. And the real estate industry as a whole is embracing devices like the smartphone on a large scale. Last year, there was a 25% of realtors purchased smartphones last year. There was a 40% increase in smartphone sales across the country, and the worst economy since the Great Depression. The reason that that's happening is because people are figuring out that they can do more with less. And if you look at the who we know aspect of the business and what we know, it leads me to talk about solutions such as Active Rain, some of the other platforms in the marketplace. The reason that we resort to solutions like that is because it allows us to do more with less. So 15 years ago, or even 5 years ago, we spent the majority of our time taking people to breakfast meetings, knocking on doors, prospecting in the traditional sense. Today you can do all that on Active Rain with 15 minutes of your time in a blog, basically. So that's why tools like this are evolving, and we as an industry are embracing them. The one area of how you do your business that I am pretty familiar with is the transaction process and what you do to actually make money. And that's what this is ultimately all about. Diane, I think it was, said that the biggest expense that you have as a real estate agent is taxes. I would challenge that a little bit, and I would argue that the biggest expense that you have as a real estate agent is your time. We as an industry have been, and this is where I'm going to go into technology, we as an industry have been thrown several different technologies that do all kinds of different things, and as a result we've embraced them. Some we've embraced more than others, but most technologies that we've embraced, with a few exceptions, have not necessarily made us a whole lot more productive at what we do. So I think we get a bad taste in our mouth about technology. And the examples that are obvious are the smartphones, hopefully the iPads, the Active Rains. We use these systems because they make us better at what we do. About 10 years ago, the electronic signature movement started in the world. And every time, who in here banks online? Or at least has an online banking account? Pretty much everybody, with a few exceptions. Who in here still pays bills, even if you go online and use automatic payments? Do people still pay bills? Well, I know me personally, I don't even pay my own bills anymore. There's solutions out there like paymybills.com that allow me to input all my information, input all my expenses that I have to pay on a monthly basis. And what takes everybody in here 20, 30, 50 minutes of your time every month, I don't even have to think about it because I've automated that aspect of my business. Every time you go online, every time you submit an email, you are electronically signing something in some way, shape, or form. This has been around since even before 2000, when electronic commerce started. In the year 2000, the Clinton administration passed a piece of federal legislation called the Electronic Signatures in Global and National Commerce Act. What this meant is that it was illegal to deny a signature solely because it's electronic. And that was established at the federal level, which means it preempts any state legislation that contradicts it. So it's against the law to deny a signature solely because it's electronic. Now, it doesn't mean you can deny a signature because of fraud or other factors, but that's what it means.
So how are banks doing it? I've got a lot of REOs that won't touch electronic signature.
That's what I'm getting to. The reason that we're so frustrated is, sorry about that. The reason that banks are denying electronic signatures and title companies is that it's an awareness factor, basically. It's a new concept in the industry. There are several vendors and providers out there in the marketplace that make solutions like this available. And quite frankly, people just aren't aware or comfortable enough with the technology. So it's happening. The answer to that is time will solve the problem.
For free daily coaching, go to timandjulieharris.com. Harris Real Estate University.